example, could those of you sitting near them help to find the proper pages for the sutras, guidance, and readings? Thank you. First, we'll have Sanbujo on page 24 in the big book, followed by Sutra Chanting Juseige on page 23 in the little book, or page 93 in the big book. The page numbers for the sutras books will be displayed on the front screen and on your monitors at home, so please follow along.
shi sai sho son shigan yakoka daisen okando koku shotenin
Please rise to sing the Gatha Buddha Loves You, which is page 39 in the small Dharma School Service book, followed by the Golden Chain, which is located on page 2 in the little book, or page 15 in the big service book under the Golden Chain one.
Okay, everybody wings out. Fly, fly, little bird. Buddha loves you, little bird. Tweet, 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 tweet. Run, run, little pup. Buddha loves you, little pup. Bow, wow, 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 wow. Don't cry, pussycat. Buddha loves you, pussycat. Mew, 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 mew. Swim, swim, little fish. Buddha loves you, little fish. Oh, very good.
The Golden Chain. I'm a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Now we'll have a Dharma lesson by Rinban Sakamoto.
Good morning. Welcome to this morning service, and to those of you who are watching from over YouTube, welcome. This morning we chanted Juseige, And there's a line in the Juseige. I know I've mentioned this many times before, but it's about two-thirds of the way through. There's a line in the Juseige that reads, Isshu kai hozo. Isshu means for the sake of all beings, and kai hozo are these three characters here on this plaque. Right? The first character is kai, the second character is ho, and the third character is zo. So kai means to open up, ho is the teachings of the Buddha, and zo is the storehouse. So if you look at the translation of that line, Isshu kai hozo, it is to open up the Dharma storehouse for the sake of all beings. So when we think of Buddhism, sometimes we think about, Buddhism is meditative, we have to sit and practice quietly or focus inward. But this says, Buddhism is very active too. Buddhism is to go out into the world and share what you've learned and what you appreciate in the Dharma. Not to just hold on to it and keep it a secret, but actually go out into the world. And some of the things that we can go out into the world with, our understanding, are simple things like, what do you do before you eat? What do you say? Yes, good job. That's right. Itadakimasu, right? We can say itadakimasu. We'll put our hands together and say itadakimasu, yeah, before we have a meal. And sometimes, when you're at home, itadakimasu, and then begin your meal. Or you might be at maybe go someplace, a restaurant, and say itadakimasu, and then start your meal. Sometimes we get self-conscious and we think, maybe somebody's watching me. But that's okay. Just say itadakimasu, and then start your meal. Or if you're too embarrassed, just say itadakimasu, and then eat. What does itadakimasu mean? What does itadakimasu mean? Anybody? Yes? Yes, exactly. Who's your Dharma school teacher? So itadakimasu means to express gratitude for what we are about to receive, right? So if you notice, when ministers begin sutra chanting, they also do itadaku, right? The itadaku. Are they going to eat something? So that to itadaku is to receive gratefully. So in this case, with the ministers, they're receiving the teachings. Yeah? So all of us, when we itadaku the teachings, we receive the teachings, itadaku. And that's something that, again, we can go out and share with others to express our appreciation for all the things that we receive, that we're able to enjoy. When we do itadakimasu before we eat, I say itadakimasu to receive. Sometimes I see translations of itadakimasu. They say itadakimasu. And the translation is, let's eat. And that's okay, but that itadaku, to receive gratefully. And not just what's in front of us, but if we think about it, this meal that we're about to enjoy, and it doesn't matter whether it's something that's prepared at home or at the restaurant or even a number 7. Anybody know what's a number 7? Number 7, McDonald's number 7. It's 2 cheeseburgers, fries, and a drink. I like numbers. I think it's number 7. Or was it number 9? They changed the menu, so I think of it as number 7. But 2 cheeseburgers, fries, and a drink. Itadakimasu. The reason I like 2 cheeseburgers is because you can drive and eat a cheeseburger. You cannot drive and eat a Big Mac. At least it's not safe to eat a Big Mac and be driving. But a cheeseburger, you can do that. Sometimes it gets a little messy, but not as messy as a Big Mac. So that's my go-to McDonald's menu. What am I talking about? Itadaku, to receive. So even as you receive a McDonald's, right, say itadakimasu. And it's not just for what we're about to eat. Yeah? So it's not, let's eat. It's not just about the food that we're about to eat. But if we think about it, how how did that food get to our plate in front of us? Somebody prepared it, right? Yeah, somebody prepared it. And that's it. But where did that person get the material to prepare that? From the supermarket or farmer's market, to be more, well, okay. Or, okay, so you go to the supermarket and you bring home the food. But where did the food come from that's in the supermarket? You can follow this, right? I mean, you could keep asking where this came from. And when you think about it, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of things that happen to bring that meal to you in that place. So when you say itadakimasu, it's not just for that food, but for all of these other things that are connected to this meal that we're about to have. You know, and it's not just the farmer, and it's not just the truck drivers, it's not just the packing houses, the people involved, it's all of that and what we're about to eat. So whether it's the vegetable that grew in the ground or the animal that grazed on a field, all of these things come together for this meal that you're about to enjoy. So when we say itadakimasu, gratefully receive. Gratefully receive. So the teachings of the Buddha too, we gratefully receive. When we itadaku something, is to be mindful of all of these things that come together in that one bite. So the next time you say itadakimasu, you don't have to think about every little thing. Otherwise, we start thinking about all these little things and we get stuck and we may not be able to enjoy our meal. but be mindful. You know, be mindful. It's not, let's eat. Yeah, certainly, let's eat. But thank you to gratefully receive all of these things that come together that make this first bite possible. And then when you consider all of that, there's a lot that goes into the food that we enjoy. And we express our gratitude and appreciation for all of these things that come together that make this one thing possible. When you consider, even like the book, there are so many things in our lives that are possible because of a chain of things that happen before this is possible. Everything you touch, everything you pick up, can you think of anything that does not have something that it comes from? Yeah, everything that we enjoy, that we are able to receive, comes from a long chain of things. And when we itadaku and express our gratitude, we're mindful of all those things that have come together. So next time you sit down to have a meal and you say itadakimasu, we're just mindful of all of these things that make that possible, that make our lives possible. And we are grateful for all of those things. So it's a simple thing, putting our hands together, saying itadakimasu, that we can share with others. And it's not a matter of saying, you have to do this. But by our understanding and our appreciation of what makes this possible, we can share that with others. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Rinban Sakamoto. Please rise to sing Gatha Farewell on page 45 in the Little Service Book, followed by the promise located on page 5 in the
Dharma school is over for another day. Let us gather round the shrine, bow our heads and say, thank you, teacher, for your help. Thank you, everyone. is kind and fair. We shall spread the happiness faith in Buddha brings. Now it's time to say goodbye till we meet again. Namu Amida Butsu, sing this fine refrain. Namu Amida Butsu, sunny day or rain. Namu Amida Butsu, strong in faith remain. Namu Amida Butsu, till we meet again.
Thank the Buddha for showing us the way of freedom. We will endeavor to walk in His noble path every day of our lives. Namo Idapsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Idapsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Idapsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you to Rinban Sakamoto, Reverend Jones, Organist Miss Tsuchimoto, and AV Coordinator Mr. Uenaka. Are there any announcements?
Just a reminder, at 11:30 this morning, after the refreshments next door, there will be a panel presentation of gun violence prevention. So if you're interested, hopefully you'll remain for that. There's refreshments being planned for that too, so come down. But a panel on gun violence prevention. Guest is Raul Perales and also Moms Demand Action. So it'll be informative, hopefully, and be able to contribute to the prevention of gun violence. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Mae Kawamoto. I just wanted to let the fourth grade class know I won't be in class today, but you will have a lesson by your TA. So can't wait to hear what happens afterwards. And then just a reminder, because I just realized next week we gain an hour, daylight savings, so don't forget.
Oh.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Kanahara and I am a scout with Pack 611. Our pack is selling popcorn, holiday wreaths, and centerpieces to fundraise for the pack, and we are selling in front of the gym today. Please come out and find us outside if you would like some delicious popcorn, a nice holiday wreath, or a centerpiece for your home or to give as a gift. Thank you for supporting Pack 611, and we hope to see you outside.
Just a reminder that we still have the scrapbook pages that you can go ahead and sign a message for Rinban Sakamoto's scrapbook that we're putting together. If you're going to be at the luncheon this coming Saturday, they will also be available there. But if you're not able to attend Saturday, we'll have them every Sunday, hopefully in the back of the temple before service and then after service. Thank you.
Morning. 2 things in 3 weeks. Saturday, November 15th is the third, I think, curry cook-off. That's the San Jose Japantown Curry Cook-Off. That's going from 5:30 to 7:30 here in our gym. Flyers weren't included in the last Dharma newsletter. Hopefully it'll be in the next one. But I'll have this flyer in the back. You can scan the QR code and you can sign up. $30, or if you're a senior, and I forget how they define a senior here. Let's see, 65 and older. Oh, I qualify, I'm so old. Or children 6 to 12 are $15, and under 6 are free. So, you know, if you're like my wife and I, and you're going, what are we going to do for dinner tonight? I don't know. What do you want to do? You don't have to think about this on November 15th. You can have curry instead. Anyway, the next day, on the 16th, the Betsuin, along with BCA, are putting on a celebration, 125th anniversary celebration of the BCA, and the Grateful Crane Ensemble will be performing here in our gym at 1 o'clock, I think. Yeah, so doors will open at 12. You can buy a bento for $25, and that is actually the cost of the bento, so they're not making a profit off the bento. The performance itself is just $25. It looks like youth to 18 years old are free, and 19 and older are $25. Again, there are flyers for this one for sure in the back, and that also has a QR code. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if you get a chance to go listen to the Grateful Crane, they're really amazing. And they're singing a variety of songs. It's supposed to be kind of tracing kind of the time frame of the BCA, basically. So old songs, some newer songs, but they do a beautiful job. I want to do a quick announcement so what's going on this Friday? Anything? Huh? It's Halloween. So if you've never come, the last, I don't know how many years now, they've been doing Halloween here, trick-or-treating in Japantown along Jackson. And last year they had hundreds and hundreds of kids out there, and probably hundreds of adults too, dressed up. So if you want to come out, please come out. The Betsuin will have a table. We'll be handing out candy. If you'd like to donate some candy to the Betsuin, that'd be great. You can drop it off in the office anytime. Otherwise, join everybody else down in Japantown. It's a lot of fun to see everybody. And to see these guys here in the front row already. They're pretty scary looking here already. So I don't know. I think they're ready. But anyway, yeah, if you like, so we'll be handing out candy from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock on Friday. If you'd like to help us hand out candy, that'd be great too. So just let Dennis Akizuki know if you'd like to help out. Thank you.
There's often a raptor or a T-Rex out there. Huh? There is. Yeah, so you got to be careful. But it's a way of having fun during Halloween.
Before everyone leaves the temple, please trade in all the books for the next service. Those of you who are interested are welcome to attend the adult English service following this service. For your safety, please obey the crossing guards and look both ways before crossing the street. Thank you for attending today's service.
Gassho, please. Oh, let's gassho first. Okay. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Dasu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Dasu.
Okay. Dozo.
Oh, my bad.
you counting the days?
I don't count that high, but it's getting close. I know it's getting close. Good morning. Good morning. Morning. Good morning. Morning.
Want to stay for the adult service? Do I just sit back?
Yeah, just hang out.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's it? How's it? Oh. Getting sound? Great. Good morning. Yeah, that's the most frustrating part. Keep blowing and there's no sound, but you're getting sound. Good morning. Good morning. By a meeting, have fun. Morning. You getting sound? You getting tone? Yeah. Okay, good.
On and off.
Good morning.
On and off, but yeah.
Yeah. Good morning. 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 Are you cooking for curry? Yes.
Why? We're in trouble. We only have one son.
You? No. Oh, really? Oh, that's good. Good morning.
So, so it looks like I'll be signing up because we don't have anybody to sign up.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, at our curry cook-off meeting, somebody makes curry. They almost always put onions in this, I get that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, Larry, I forgot. So last meeting, they said, oh, okay, we're going to have a meeting. I'm making curry. Yeah. I did a vegetarian.
Morning. Morning.
I did a vegetarian. That was good. So I was too lazy to cook meat. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
No, so it's not out yet,
Yes.
but it's out. But so Steve is going to make email announcement and send it out. But it's going to be a surprise, I guess, for people because we haven't announced the channel.
It's not as much of a surprise as you thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, word's gotten out, but officially, I think that we'll lead up to Steve to make that announcement. Oh, you're changed. No wonder you can't be in class. I thought maybe you were going to go somewhere.
Yeah, because as a Dharma school teacher, oh, okay. No, I didn't schedule that anyway. I've heard that.
Good morning. My name is Mae Kawamoto. I'll be chairing the service this morning. Do we have any new attendees, guests? Would you like to stand up and introduce yourself?
Well, I'm from Florida, so I'm just here this one time. So my name is Javier, and I just came to visit. I'm a long-time Buddhist, so I just wanted to see the temple. Thank you guys for
Awesome.
having me.
Thank you. Welcome.
My name is Tiana. I grew up going to the Buddhist temple and we moved, so we thought that we would come check out the one near us here.
Awesome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. And thanks to those online too who are joining in cyberspace. Oh, one more. I'm sorry. Okay, it's a little silhouette. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Anyone else? Okay. Well, if those of you around them can please help guide which readings and songs we're doing, that would be appreciated. And then also before we begin the service, just a reminder that there are no food or drinks allowed in the hondo. And if you have a cell phone, please make sure it's turned off or silenced. Thank you. We'll start the service this morning with Sanbujo, which is on page 24 in the small Dharma School service book. And then page 67 in the larger one, which I didn't bring up with me. So Sanbujo, and then followed by Junirai, which is on page 20 in this book, and then page 67 on, oh, did I say the same page numbers? The large service book will have the name in the upper right corner. So Sanbujo first, then Junirai. Thank you. Please rise to sing the Gatha, The Texture of Life, which you'll find on page 94 in the small service book, and then remain standing for the Three Treasures, which is on page 3 in the same book.
The texture of the life to be, we weave in colors all our own, and in the realm of destiny we reap as we have sown. We make ourselves the joys and fears with which the coming life is made, and fill alone our future spheres with sunshine or with shade. We live our present lives again with memory warm or coldly dim. The pictures of the past remain, man's work shall follow him. The Three Treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves a supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Nama. Please be seated.
Now we'll have Jones Sensei give this morning's Dharma talk.
Thank you, Mae. Please join me in Gassho. I take refuge in Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in Dharma, the way of understanding and love. I take refuge in Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Good morning. Thank you for being here, and thanks for those of you who are watching from home. Really appreciate it. You know, in the past few weeks, I've had the opportunity to participate in a few events outside of the temple, and a couple here. On October 5th, I gave a talk at the First Unitarian Church of San Jose in downtown San Jose, right across from St. James Park. They wanted to hear about the Buddhist view of compassion. Their service was really interesting, and they were all very welcoming. I enjoyed the service and the chance to be part of it. And then the week before last, I was invited to the 40th anniversary luncheon for the group called PACT, P-A-C-T, People Acting in Community Together. Wesley United Methodist Church paid for the table and invited me to attend and to participate in their opening prayer. This organization, PACT, is basically run by the faith community. The group helps immigrants and others in the community with a host of services. And then on October 14th, we held our third session of Living a Shin Buddhist Life in Times of Uncertainty and Fear. We had just under 20 people, and it was a really good discussion. All of these events, the service at the Unitarian Church, the PACT luncheon, our discussion on the times we are in, have compassion as a common theme. It might not be obvious with our discussion on these times of uncertainty and fear, but without compassion, it will be much more difficult to deal with the issues we face in today's society. Compassion is central to the Buddhist teachings. Buddhism, at its core, is focused on enlightenment, which is to see the world as it really is, not clouded by our personal judgments, preconceptions, or even our experiences. In my opinion, the general view of compassion across the many schools of Buddhism and sects of Buddhism is fairly uniform, but there are some minor differences in the practice. Part of what makes compassion so essential is that it's a component of it requires that we take time to understand the world through the view of others. I'm not trying to say that we need to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, as the saying goes. It actually goes much deeper than that. Although, I've heard another angle on that saying. Humorist Jack Handy says, before you criticize someone, walk a mile in their shoes. That way, you'll be a mile from them and you'll have their shoes. Anyway, back to compassion. Let's start with a couple of definitions. I like to have definitions because it helps me sort out words that I'm trying to better comprehend. The Oxford Online Dictionary defines compassion as the sympathetic pity and concern for the suffering and misfortune of others. Now, personally, I think that's a terrible definition, so don't believe everything you read on the internet. Buddhist author and teacher and minister Pema Chodron, in her book, The Places That Scare You, says, compassion is not a relationship between a healer and the wounded. It's a relationship between equals. Only when we know our own darkness can we be present with the darkness of others. Compassion becomes real when we recognize our shared humanity. Now we're seeing some differences. Compassion requires a level of shared humanity. One of my favorite authors, and decidedly not a Buddhist, is Brene Brown. In her book, Atlas of the Heart, she defines compassion as the daily practice of recognizing and accepting our shared humanity so that we treat ourselves and others with loving kindness and we take action in the face of suffering. Now, this, in my opinion, is a wonderfully Buddhistic view of compassion. It contains the elements of recognizing our shared humanity, the wonder of loving kindness, and the real key in Buddhism, action. It's important that we don't confuse compassion with sympathy or pity. Having compassion is not the same as having sympathy for someone or offering them your pity. These can both be seen as condescending to the recipient. And while it may be more closely related, compassion is not the same as empathy. As Dr. Brown writes, empathy is a tool of compassion. It's an emotional skill set that allows us to understand what someone is experiencing and to reflect back that understanding. From a Buddhist perspective, compassion is a sincere wish for all beings to be free from suffering and its causes. Another important teaching in Buddhism is the idea that all beings and all things are interdependent. Thus, compassion naturally arises in us when we truly understand the interconnected nature of existence. We have to realize that our own suffering and that of others is fundamentally not separate. This isn't an emotional response. It comes from the wisdom of seeing clearly. Wisdom and compassion are inseparable. Our tradition, Jodo Shinshu, Buddhism, places the highest value on this pairing of wisdom and compassion. Amida is the Buddha of wisdom and compassion. The statue in our Onaiji has the two mudras of wisdom, the thumb and forefinger together and the other three fingers extended, and compassion, same mudra but low. These two concepts, wisdom and compassion, are inseparable. Compassion without wisdom becomes a sentiment. Wisdom without compassion can be cold and empty. One of the most difficult aspects of compassion in the Buddhist context, especially right now, is that compassion must be universal and impartial. We can't pick and choose the targets of our compassion. It's our teaching that compassion is meant for all sentient beings. Our compassion must be impartial. We don't know the causes and conditions that lead others to do things that harm or worry us. This is admittedly very difficult for humans to do. We're always searching for blame. Who did this to me? Why did they do this to me? And in our current times, this may be especially difficult. Our youngest daughter is transgender. How do I tell her that she must show compassion even to those who would deny her very existence, or say that she should be institutionalized because they believe that all transgender people are mentally ill? How do I tell my daughters, my daughter-in-law, my wife, that they should have compassion for the people who want them to have no say over their bodies and no vote in our democracy? How, as a Buddhist minister, do I tell you, the Sangha, or any of the non-Christians that I know, that they should have compassion for the Christian nationalists who would love to make us all either converts or be relegated to a lower tier in society? Part of the Mahayana Buddhism is the ideal of the Bodhisattva. A Bodhisattva is someone who defers their time in the Pure Land and returns after death to this world of birth and death, samsara, in order to help other sentient beings toward their enlightenment. Yesterday, I had a great discussion at the end of a seminar with Reverend Kuwahara and Dr. Mark Blum. And some of you have heard Dr. Mark Blum before, know he's a scholar who spends his time translating many Buddhist documents. He's proficient in Sanskrit, Pali, Chinese, and Japanese, and he comes with a wonder of things. But we were talking about the Bodhisattva, and is Bodhisattva a Buddha at the same time? And Kuwahara Sensei was there at the same time. We were sort of a offline discussion. When we pass away, do we go immediately to the Pure Land, but we come right back to samsara as Bodhisattva? But are we a Buddha as well? So are we a Buddha and a Bodhisattva at the same time? The answer I got from them was yes, we are. So I've been asking this question for the last 10 years, so it was an interesting discussion for me. Anyway, in my view, the Bodhisattva ideal is the ultimate expression of compassion. After all, as Buddhists, we dedicate our practice to the concept of enlightenment. Then, when we could take our place with all the other Buddhas in the Pure Land, we instead turn around and come back to samsara and help other sentient beings toward their enlightenment. You know, I brought this up in our October 14th discussion, so a few of you have heard this already, but when you think of a bodhisattva, before you get that picture in your mind of Clarence, the angel in It's a Wonderful Life, trying to earn his wings, a bodhisattva may not necessarily be an angel. In fact, a bodhisattva may be one of the most despicable people you know. Their goal may be to help you understand how to use your compassion for every sentient being. I won't bring up any names in particular, but I'm sure you might be able to think of a person or two in our society that can really be a test of your otherwise good nature. Our compassion comes from our ability to see others without judgment. It's not feeling sorry for them or having pity for them. These are both belittling to the other person. We don't pretend to understand what they are going through as much as we understand the emotions with which they are struggling. As Brene Brown said, we recognize our shared humanity. We all struggle from time to time. We make mistakes. Misfortune finds us through no fault of our own. How do we practice this compassion? Well, you've all heard the quip that goes, you were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you should listen twice as much as you talk. Well, I think that analogy and the resulting math are wrong. I say you're born with 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth, so we should be speaking only 20% of the time. And we should be listening and observing with the other 80%. And in fact, I think that 20% is high. If you can do more like 10% of talking than time talking, then I think you're on the right path. But how do we put all this into practice? How do we practice compassion? When someone comes to you with a problem, or you notice a friend or family member who seems down, and you ask them, what's wrong? What do you do next? By the way, you won't be asked to answer this out loud, so be honest with yourself. Do you listen deeply to what they're saying? Do you watch their body language to see if it matches their words? Do you listen for words that they keep repeating? Do you listen for what they're not saying? Or are you busy thinking of an example of how you have it worse than them? Or are you trying to come up with the words to help them solve their problem? You're not really listening to them at that point. Compassion is not about solving their problem. Compassion is about allowing them to have the opportunity to express their emotions. It can be difficult to deliver advice or solutions without making some level of judgment about the speaker. And in my various roles as a minister, a professional coach, an ally for LGBTQ+ individuals and parents, and as a dad, listening is by far my most important skill. And by the way, the toughest situation to practice what I'm preaching is when I'm in the role of dad. I don't know if anybody else can identify with that. So to wrap up, let's review some key points. Compassion is not the same as sympathy, pity, or empathy. Compassion, using Brene Brown's definition, is the daily practice of recognizing and accepting our shared humanity so that we treat ourselves and others with loving kindness and we take action in the face of suffering. Compassion, according to Pema Chodron, is not a relationship between a healer and the wounded. It's a relationship between equals. Wisdom and compassion are inseparable. Without wisdom, compassion is mere sentiment. And without compassion, wisdom is just cold. Compassion is universal and impartial. It must include everyone. The Bodhisattva who defers his enlightenment in order to help everyone else with theirs is the ultimate expression of compassion. The key to showing compassion is to listen and watch without judgment, without comparison, and without offering solutions. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. 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 Thank you.
Thank you, Jun Sensei. Everything you said resonates with me, and Brene Brown is a very good author. Highly recommended. Okay. Please rise to sing the Gatha Ondokusan II on page 76 in the small Dharma School service book.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda. Thank you. Please be seated.
If there are any announcements, please come forward. Thank you.
If you weren't here for the 9:30 service, the Boy Scouts announced that they're doing sales of popcorn, wreaths, and something else. I should have listened better. Anyway, so they do this every year, so please support them. Let's see, I have two other announcements. So one is the third annual Curry Cook-Off, San Jose Japantown Curry Cook-Off is taking place in 3 weeks on Saturday, November 15th from 5:30 to 7:30. So tickets are $30 unless you're a senior like me, which is 65 and over. Good thing it's not 70 and over, I wouldn't qualify. Then it's only $15 or $15 for children from 6 to 12 and under 6 are free. All proceeds this time, each year they've donated, if they make any money, we don't make a lot out of this, but if we make any money, we donate it to various organizations. So this year, they're going to the two women's groups, so the Wesley United Women of Faith group and our BWA group are the recipients of the proceeds this year. So if you're interested, there are some flyers in the back. I thought there were flyers in last month's Dharma newsletter, but there weren't. So there are flyers in the back. For those of you tech smart, you can just scan the QR code and you can pay that way. They're also looking for anyone who's interested in cooking for this. So again, you can win cash prizes. Rinban took third place, for instance, 2 years ago in our inaugural event. No, there weren't only 3 contestants. There were, I think, 8 that year. I'm not sure. Anyway, okay. And then the next day, on Sunday, November 16th, the Betsuin and BCA are inviting you to celebrate the 125th anniversary of the BCA with the Grateful Crane Ensemble. If you've never seen them before, those of you who went to the BWA conference, maybe, was that the World Conference they performed? Or one of the BWA conferences they performed? Federation Conference last year. So this year the show is called Living Gratitude. So it's a musical journey of 125 years of BCA history through captivating storytelling and the singing of favorite Japanese, American, and Buddhist songs. Again, this is taking place in 3 weeks from today at 1 o'clock in our gym. The performance is $25. You can also, if you wish, buy a bento for $25 as well. That, of course, would be there. Youth 18 years and under are free. And again, there are flyers for this in the back, as well as a QR code. Thank you.
Just to let you know that we still have our scrapbook pages. This is for you to write a message and sign your name for Rinban Sakamoto's scrapbook that we're putting together. These will be at the lunch this coming Saturday, but especially if you're not able to attend the event on Saturday, please stop by the back of the room. We'll have it before the service and after service every Sunday through this year, calendar year. Thank you.
I assume those will be good messages. Just an assumption on my part. Quick announcement. So last few years, the Betsuin's participating with Trick or Treat on this Friday. So Jackson Street is closed down, and all the merchants and people have stuff, and everyone's handing out candy. So the Betsuin has the table out there. If you'd like to help us by handing out candy, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you'd like to donate candy, because we buy all the candy, you can donate that and leave it in the office or let the office know. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. They got a ton of kids. It's just amazing how many people are out there. Not only kids, but adults. So if you want to dress up and come on out, you come as Rinban, that'd be great.
Good morning, I'm Kenji Akahoshi. We're having our second class of 3 this Wednesday at 7 in the boardroom or on Zoom. If you're interested in attending on Zoom, you could email me, kenjiakahoshi@gmail.com. And the theme has been, this week will be the self, a kind of a expansion of the self, identifying ourselves as a group. Last week it was on gratitude. The third week will be engaged compassion. Good theme. But anyway, if you're interested, it's a contemporary interpretation of how we apply Shin Buddhism in our contemporary life. Thank you.
At 11:30 today, over in the multipurpose room next door, there is a gun violence prevention seminar and discussion. And so this is with the help of a group called Moms Demand Action. And panelist Raul Peralez will be there as well. So we all know that gun violence is a concern in our society right now, in our nation. So if you'd like to join, please do so. So the snacks and refreshments will be over there. And then immediately following that at 11:30, this discussion panel will take place. So please join if you can.
Thank you, Joan Sensei, Rinban Sakamoto, M.A. Matthew Rowling, our organist, Colleen Tsuchimoto, and AV coordinator, Brandon Uenaka. Thank you for attending the service. We'll now have closing gasho, and after that, please come forward for incense offering.
Please join me in gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Nama. Thank you, everybody.
How long are you in the area?
Oh, we leave tomorrow. We've been here for like a week or so.
Oh, okay.
I've never been to our temple like that shit was like, so very excited. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Have a beautiful temple.
Yeah, well,
We don't have anything like this in Florida. So.
you'd be surprised. I think, I know
Not Shamrock, which is kind of like I'm a big fan of Shamrock. Recently become very interested in the tradition, but
so in Virginia.
yes, there is online. There are online offerings for sure.
Yeah, I think there was something in Florida. There's small groups that kind of get started and get associated, and then good morning. But yeah, keep looking around. Poking the internet. Who knows? Hi, Tommy.